Hello there. Today, I am going to be reviewing the new Win W10 mobile phone from Colors. Yes, the very first Windows phone from Colors, and as a lot of us might have heard, the slimmest Windows phone till date. Pretty exciting? Let's try it out. First, the packing. The handset comes in a standard paper box, as you can see. At the front, the company's branding is at the top, and the Win W10 and Windows naming is in the middle. On to the left, you can see the phone and some more branding. On the right, you will find a quick overview of the specifications of the phone. On the bottom, there is a more thorough list of specifications, which I will elaborate more on later. Let's cut open the box and see what do we have. So I'm using my handy dandy little knife. And here we go. Now, let's jump into the box. And here is our review unit of the W10. Let's take it out from its plastic cover. Sweet. So it has got a screen protector with its major specifications printed on it. Let's get rid of that as well. Oh wow, this black unit does look really sleek. Let's have a quick look underneath the box before going into the phone. We have a data cable, a pair of earphones, a wall adapter, a battery pack, quick start guide, a warranty card, and that's all about it. Okay, going back to the phone, I think the experience only gets better. You instantly feel the extreme 7.1mm thinness of this phone, and it has a good feeling to it. I think it's because the back edges have been slightly curved. This is actually helping in achieving a more comfortable grip. I think Colors is making a point that a good looking phone and a good feeling phone does not need to stretch its limit too much. And yes, Colors, it's working. So, the front of the phone is a 4.7-inch 16 million colors IPS display with a decent 312 ppi and has a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. Above it is a grill earpiece and a 2-megapixel front-facing camera, followed by capacitive navigation buttons at the bottom. Something to be noted here is that there's no Windows button here as you would expect on a Windows phone. Rather, it has its own set of button shapes and layout. On the left is a volume rocker and onto the right is the power button. Both of these buttons stick out a bit from the curved side edges of the phone, which makes it easy to find the keys, and the keys have good tactile feedback. These buttons are positioned more towards the top part of the phone, which is a more natural position where your fingers would be at. A micro USB port and a 3.5mm headphone jack are at the top, whereas there's a single microphone input lying at the bottom. The back of this phone houses an 8-megapixel camera with an LED flash, a single speaker output, along with Windows and Colors branding. Removing the back cover, which is kind of hard to do, you'll see a slot for the removable 1750 mAh battery, 2 micro SIM card slots as it's a dual SIM phone, and an expandable memory card slot, which supports up to a huge 32 GB of storage. You do get 8 GB of internal storage with the phone too. Now, let's talk about the hardware specifications of this phone. This phone is not trying to overwhelm you with great numbers, but it does pack enough to provide a good mid-range experience. It is housing a Qualcomm Snapdragon 200 quad-core processor, clocked at an appreciable 1.2 GHz, and a Qualcomm Adreno 302 is handling its graphics. 1 GB of RAM on this thing seems to be a bit on the lower side, but it is okay for low to medium multitasking. I think this phone strikes a good balance between the hardware and the actual performance of the phone, as it flawlessly handles the operating system, which in this case is Windows. Colors has collaborated for the very first time with Microsoft to produce this wonderful thinnest Windows mobile phone ever. The phone is running on the latest Windows 8.1 mobile operating system and is upgrade ready to Windows 10 as it rolls out later. This phone entertains you with a true Windows mobile experience, which I would like to run you through now. Firing up the screen, you will instantly notice the vivid colors coming out of the 720p screen. The viewing angle is very wide with no color distortion even at extreme angles, which is great. Swipe up the screen and there it is, the classic Windows screen with its live tiles of applications showing you all your relevant information at a single glance. Pulling down across the screen from the top will launch the notification screen where you will see your unread notifications. You can swipe right on the notification to clear it out or tap on it to view it. It also contains quick toggle switches for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, brightness and so on. This All Settings button will take you to the main settings application, but we will come back to that later. To talk about the navigation buttons, a single tap on the right button takes you a step back, but holding it for a second brings up the multitasking menu from where you can easily swap between your running applications and delete them as required. To delete a running application, you can simply swipe it down like this or hit the cross button. The middle button takes you to the home screen no matter where you are. The left button launches Cortana, which I'll talk about in a bit. Let us go through the applications now. Windows always has its own set of exclusive applications to offer, and this phone is no exception. Applications like Office 365, Internet Explorer, OneDrive, etc., and Bing-based applications like Bing Food and Drink, Health and Fitness, Maps, and Weather offer a rich Windows experience. They have bundled Cortana with this phone, which is a very anticipated personal assistant for a Windows Phone. It also comes preloaded with Facebook, Viber, and Skype. You can access the full application list by hitting this little icon, or you can just swipe to the left. Now, I am going to quickly show you some of the applications to give you a broader idea. The Battery Saver application does come quite handy when you want to see how each of your running application is using the battery. You can prevent the running of an application by choosing it and turn it off here, which will save some of your battery life. Calendar is something that I often use, and I found this one to be very good because it is simple. You can choose from different 4 views: day, week, month, or year. You can add an event by tapping on a date and hit this plus key and set your details. This really does help you not to miss out any important event and also keep track of your work. Now, the camera. As I mentioned earlier, the phone has a primary 8 megapixel camera which does okay in well-lit conditions. This is a shot that I took outdoors at the maximum resolution of 2048 by 1536, and this one at the lowest of 640 by 480. This video is at the maximum resolution of 864 by 480 pixels, and this one at the lowest of 640 by 480. The image quality is good at the higher resolution, but I think the video would be much better if it was available at least 720p. I think it's time to have some fun with Cortana, so let's launch the app. Now, we have to note that it is still in beta version here, but it is still a very powerful application. Let me demonstrate what you can do with it. Do I need an umbrella tomorrow?
The forecast for tomorrow shows light showers with a high of 74 and a low of 57.
Who's your father?
Technically speaking, that'd be Bill Gates. No big deal.
How far is Kathmandu?
It'll take 15 minutes to drive to Kathmandu.
Where is the nearest restaurant?
Here are 10 restaurants near you.
Pretty cool, right? Internet Explorer has not been that much popular as a browser, but it works just fine. Pages load pretty good with just minor delay sometimes. Pinch and zoom work smoothly and text look sharp enough in landscape mode, but have a little bit of roughness in portrait mode. Office Mobile is easily the star of the show here, as you can use it to create and edit your documents on the go. Obviously, you won't be getting all the options as in the desktop counterpart, but it will do the job for creating some simple Word or Excel documents. You can instantly upload the documents you create to OneDrive so that you can download it later and continue working on it on a PC. Something very handy is the Kids Corner functionality under the settings menu. It is a very usable tool designed especially for kids. It allows the user to select only particular applications to be accessible once this mode has been turned on. Let me show it to you. Now, I am going to talk on a few major aspects of the phone. First, the battery life. Though this phone packs a small 1750 mAh battery pack, I was able to use this phone with low to medium use throughout the day and get more or less a full day of usage. But with prolonged gaming and online surfing, that figure quickly drops down to just a couple of hours. The phone only tends to get warmer when using the web browser for a long time and while gaming, of course. Watching movie on this phone takes the story to a whole different level. This is a 720p movie that I'm trying to play, but the phone is just not fast enough to handle that. 1080p movie would just make it harder. I am impressed with the performance despite of its mid-range specs. It handles multitasking between lighter applications like Office, Calculator, viewing photos, etc. quite impressively. But start opening multiple games and multiple heavy applications and you will find some lag kicking in. I cannot stress it enough on how much I enjoy typing on this phone. It feels very good. Lastly, the speaker of this phone. The single output unit at the backside of the phone delivers average sound quality, but it's alright. So guys, this is pretty much all about the phone. As a final verdict, I feel that this phone gives a very high value to the not so expensive price. With a decent price point of 16,000 Nepalese rupees that sums up to about $160, you can never go wrong with it. The phone provides almost all the features that any high-end phone would deliver. It does exactly what it has been designed to do and does not try to invade territories it is not meant to go in. Thank you for your time and I will see you in the next one.